Hello everybody, welcome to this week's reading for some good vibrations. When I was tapping in, I really, again, love working with the Sabian symbols. And the one that came up for this week for all of us was Gemini 23. And this is the image it tells with that symbol. 3 fledglings in a nest, high up in a tree. So what I get is a couple of themes out of this. One, I think that this coming week there could be situations where we're struggling to find our place amongst a crowded nest, where there are others that are perhaps doing the same work that we are, and how do we make ourselves different, and how do we make ourselves be seen, and or how do we get some quiet time alone from other people, or how do we, if we have something we want to bring forward, how will we be heard? Because you think of 3 little baby birds and they're all peep, 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 peep. Everybody's peeping. And how do you make what you have to say unique and different? The fact that it's 3 of these baby birds high up in a tree also tells me that there's an element of vulnerability that's coming up. It's like we're almost ready to fly, but we're really not quite there yet. So these themes that are coming up might have to do with what to keep aware of or what to embrace as you think about making that move to take flight for yourself in a new area of your life. This feels like a total rebirth moment. With the spring equinox, that really was the birth of a brand new zodiac year. And since that time, whatever feels new for you feels like these baby birds, that they've matured enough now to have a voice, but there's a lot of noise around it, and like, I don't know which direction to go. And some of you might be feeling like, oh, screw it, I don't even know, just forget it all. Or the others around you are also having ideas, and you want to have a voice too. And how can yours be different and be heard? I guess that's what I'm mostly getting. So it could be about that rebirth process and a state of maturity that isn't quite ready to fly yet, but boy, it's close. It's close. But you're feeling a little vulnerable at looking out of the nest, like, okay, I'm way high up here. I'm gathering my strength. I'm strengthening my wings. I'm getting my nourishment. And I'm, at some point not too long in the future, I'm going to take off. So that can be a little frightening. So that kind of gives you the setting for this reading that wants to come through. So interestingly, all 3 cards are from the Doreen Virtue Flower Therapy deck. I find this deck to be incredibly gentle and sweet, and just you think about flower petals and how they're just very soft. There's no hard messages or hard edges to any of the themes in these cards. So I think that that's telling. Like, just like you would treat a baby bird, it's like your team has kind of got your back and is just sort of putting a gentle hands around you, like nurturing you and making sure that you know it's okay, and that it's okay to feel scared and vulnerable as you make these moves, and also carve out a place for yourself in this universe, because we all need you. You're a part of the puzzle that's very important to all of us. So anyway, that's the theme overall. If you chose the card that was on the left of the 3 cards that I displayed in the photo that I put up, it is the peer pressure card, which is the primrose. You can take in those colors. So right away, heart chakra colors. The color of these cards really matters to me. For my work, I tend to notice them right away. So at the heart of it all is the yellow, which is your solar plexus, surrounded by the heart, the love. And then there's this little bit of purple, the crown chakra over here. So knowing that you have been being inspired, divine inspiration, but also don't forget about your solar plexus. That is coming up a lot for me lately with my client work, is that our sense of self-worth and self-esteem is playing a greater role in our lives in order to propel us forward. So when you're feeling uneasy, take a minute to ground yourself and really even sit down and make a list of what makes you great, what makes you unique, what do you have that nobody else has? Because you do know yourself, and it is not self-serving to go through that kind of exercise. I'm feeling like the people that chose this card could really use that kind of, I want to say like a little fist in the shoulder, like, come on, you got this. And feeling a little vulnerable about whatever's going on in your life, and taking next step forward, because that yellow it's kind of, you have a lot of heart, the people that chose this card. Wow, that's the primary color, and you notice, I mean, it's just overwhelmingly so much love. And sometimes the solar plexus sense of self-worth, self-esteem, the get up and go to get it done, can get a little overshadowed by how much your heart just beams open. And there is nothing wrong with love, but there's nothing wrong with love of self either. And love of these very particular gifts that you have. And every person on this planet has gifts. And we are all just doing the very best that we can with where we're at and what we know and what we're willing to learn. So just in terms, I mean, don't get too caught up on the words peer pressure. That feels like maybe you could be paying attention to a lot of what others are saying, but it's even peer pressure with yourself. It's even pressure on yourself, like maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Maybe I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. Maybe this is crazy. I don't know if I should be doing this. So please just take a moment, your homework this week. I don't dole out homework that often, but if I were to give you some for those that picked the primrose, really sit down and make even a mental list if you don't want to write it down, but writing it down makes it more powerful. With a candle lit so you see your inner light as you're writing, and just write down everything that makes you very unique, because those unique aspects are the gifts that you can give all of us. And so I encourage you to really focus on those and to celebrate them, and never mind what anybody else is doing, because nobody does it like you. So please just take a moment to do that this week, and you will discover some parts of yourself that are really looking to come forward. For those that chose the second card, so this would be the one that was in the middle of the 3-card spread that I put out in the photo I posted, you get the very lovely "Your Wishes Are Coming True" card. This is the sweet pea. And what I always notice about the sweet pea is it feels like lungs to me. So in terms of this Gemini 23 image of the fledglings in the nest, it feels like you're encouraged to literally take a deep breath and think about where you want to go next. Because it's almost as though what you've been asking for is coming through. It might not look like what you thought it would look like, but it is happening. And it's time to set your sights on what's next. And kind of, even as your wish comes true, whatever it is that is coming in for you. And this can be, it doesn't have to be a material item. This can be a state of mind. This can be a state of being. This can be a deep spirituality that you have not felt before. This can be a cleanliness within your body that feels new and fresh. This can be new people that came into your life recently, even if it's just for a short time, and the gifts that they gave you. It could be a new job. It certainly could be a new material aspect of your life. But it feels like you really just need to take some time to take a deep breath. You've been working hard, energetically speaking. You've been really focused and really putting a lot of mind activity into parts of your life. And it's really just time to, I just feel this need to slow it down. The Taurus energy is really coming through to me with this card. Taurus is all about the good things in life and taking time to be slow and methodical. And that idea of taking deep breaths and then, okay, now I'm going to move on to this. And it's like slowing your pace. It's almost like in the midst of being among those fledglings high up in the tree that I talked about at the intro, there's an expenditure of energy when you are one of the ones going beep 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 beep. There's so much that happens in your energy field. You're speaking a lot, or you're thinking a lot, and or both. You're expending a lot of energy to be seen, perhaps. There's a lot of energy expenditure is what I get. And so you could really benefit this week from taking some of that beautiful Taurian energy for your own. Claim it and say, you know what, I've been working hard at pushing for things and trying to speak up and have a voice amongst all these people or in a situation. And now, because that's not sustainable long term, okay? That's what's beautiful about all the zodiac, and we all have a piece of the entire wheel. Whether we have any planets in those areas in each sign or not, they play into our lives. And so that Taurian energy, I do keep feeling the need to take a deep breath. Like literally my own lungs feel kind of caught up. The Taurian energy can serve you very well. Slow, methodical, enjoyment. Taurus is also about utter enjoyment, pleasure, luxuriating in small things this week. Please take the time for yourself. You don't have to be one of the peepers this week in that nest. Let the others do, or whoever else is in the picture, or if it's you that you're speaking out against, or your kids, or whatever it is, it's like quiet it down. You will get fed, you will be noticed, and you may even be noticed more because you're not one of the ones going beep, 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 beep all the time. You will automatically make yourself look different in that realm because you're not the one barking and trying to fight for a position, if you will. I just get the sense it's not that I'm trying to degrade you in any way. It's that you've been working hard is the sense I get. And you really need to take a really luxurious breath over and over and over again this week and really take some time to enjoy yourself, because damn, you have been going at it like a hammer pounding a nail. Go, go, go. And you can really benefit from literal deep breaths and luxuriating in very simple but delicious pleasures. Okay, and finally, for those who chose the card that was on the right, da 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 da, look at what you get. I consider the red rose to be probably the most beautiful flower in my humble opinion. Open your heart. I just want to read you the message on this card. Your potential for greater love rests in opening your heart. Blockages and wounds from your past will be healed, and you'll be met with the true passion you seek. For those that picked this card, I feel like this is where the goodness is right in the middle. And you're slowly in this mode of being urged almost to open, to allow that flower, that rose to bloom open. And the more that you just let things flow, and perhaps not push too hard, as one of those fledglings up in the nest, it's a vulnerable place to be way up high like that. And when we feel vulnerable, we get very, it's just a state of contraction at times where we really feel like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. This is, no, just forget it. Or I'm telling you this from personal experience lately, where there just becomes kind of a frustration, and also it's hard to look down and to see what you have to do to take flight, and to trust that it's okay for you to continue building your wings up and keep going in the path that you are, and trust that the most beautiful creative solutions are going to appear. Those that selected this card might have some particularly challenging, rough things going on emotionally, old wounds of the past. This is a 9-year, I feel compelled to say, for the people that chose this card. It is a 9-year, and we're in the middle of completions. So I've been hearing from a lot of people, man, this year is kicking my butt. I didn't expect this stuff, or friends around me are having a devil of a time in this area or that, or sudden changes in direction, or family life being turned on its head. And it's because, the 9-year is about the cleanup and to get you into a place where you can start 2017 as a 1 year, a time of true new beginnings. You've been through so much, and there's going to be many full circle kind of events that happen for a large majority of the people on this planet this year. There's going to be a real closing of a lot of old wounds that you're just going to be like, you know what, I'm so done with that. I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to worry about those things or that person, or I don't want to have to fight to have a voice in my marriage, or whatever it is. It's like you're waking up and realizing, how do I want my life to be? And in some cases, the universe is taking those steps for you, because they hear you, whether you've said it out loud or given action to it or not. They've heard on a heart level where you're hurting, and they're trying to help you to get to a place that you're not hurting. And so just please be kind to yourself, that whatever situations or old things or continual habits that you find yourself facing, please give yourself the love and respect that you deserve so richly for having the courage to keep going, keep moving ahead, and just allow that blossoming to happen. This card is very action oriented, in that it's all about the encouragement to continue letting that flow. And that's the way true divine energy works, is that it comes from within us, our spark, and then it blossoms out, and it feeds that whole energy field up and down, the whole of the chakra system being important, not just the upper set, all of it. It's flowing down and up at the same time and creating this huge torus field, it's called, not like the sign Taurus, but Torus. And it's like it almost creates like a donut image around us, if you will, with us being in the middle. So just know that the more you allow that flow from the gateway, which is the heart center, that's right here in the center, the more you allow that, it's just going to continue to bring more things for you to feel happy and joyful about. So the encouragement for you this week is to just allow yourself the flow, okay? Don't let things get stopped up in your heart because you let anger take over, or you let fear take over, or worry. Things have a way of working themselves out. To quote my grandmother, who always said, "This too shall pass." The energy passes. It comes in to challenge us, and if we bring nothing but grace and that go-getter spirit to it, and allow, the options to show themselves to us, then we step through the energy. When it passes, when it moves through, we're on the other side of it, and it's sweeter than we could have imagined. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is necessary, and it's a part of life here on earth. It's a real blessing because it's how we experience life here. We can create here on earth. And so if we allow the creation process to happen, if we allow that flow to be what it will be, and allow the sadness to be there, the anger to be there, but to know that it too shall pass, and to not let ourselves get too stuck there. It feels like stuck energy to me. Let it flow through, okay? And when in doubt, picture this red rose for me, if you will, in your heart center, and see it as a tight bud at first, not opened up. And then imagine that in your heart, if you've got your eyes closed, that there's a light that appears underneath that bud that feeds into the stem. And the light is what slowly opens that rose to become this beautiful bloom that is just magnificent. And you can feel the reach that you have then as those petals move out. That's literally the edges of your energy field expanding and offering more opportunity for goodness to find you, because the universe is wise, loving, and giving. Believe it or not, it's true. So the key is in opening yourself to it, and the red rose could be very helpful to you if you picture that in just a few short minutes. Doesn't matter where you are. You can even imagine it in your mind as you're driving. Keep your eyes open though. So I hope that's helpful for everybody, and I wish you a very good week. May good juju find you, and don't be afraid to be amongst the other fledglings in the nest. It's all going to be good.